Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Drunken Game, where I talk about drinking and games. Today, the beer I'll be talking about is Yuengling. Basically, I'm not going to do the charts anymore. To me, the taste of Yuengling is it's just kind of a generic taste, really. It's not as flat as High Life, it's a little sharper. But not really. It's kind of, you drink it, it's a very beer tasting beer. But it is, I consider it smoother than like Shiner Bock, but a little sharper than Miller High Life. So it's kind of a good introductory beer. The fun fact today about Yuengling is the brewery that makes it is called D.G. Yuengling & Son, which is the oldest operating brewery, operating brewing company in the United States. It was established in 1829, and it is one of the largest in volume in the U.S. It's tied with the Boston Beer Company. They're the ones that make Sam Adams. It's headquarters in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, and the official pronunciation of Yuengling is Yuengling. Some people say Yeeling. I usually call it Yeeling, but it's supposed to be Yuengling, and the reason it's pronounced that way is it's it's a white version of the word Yuengling, which is its founder's surname and the German term for young man. Alright, that's it for the beer. Now the game on review today is, I actually love this game. It was XCOM in the Unknown for the Xbox 360, but it's out there for the PC as well, and the PlayStation. Now it's a turn-based RPG, which I absolutely love. Turn-based RPGs. I don't know why, I've just always loved them. So I'm going to try to do kind of a unbiased view of this, but going into this, no, I love this game. Turn-based RPG, it's basically played on a grid. You know, you know the path your soldiers take and all that good stuff. That's the turn-based. You know, you basically tell your soldier to go here, do this move, enemy goes, back to you, back. In the RPG part of it, you do gain new abilities, weapon, and armor. Abilities are different for the different classes, and there's 4 basic classes you have. You have the heavy, which is the tank. Your support is kind of not your weak guy, but he's not your heavy guy. He can take a little bit of damage, but he's mainly there like to basically buff your characters up. You have your assault, which is your speed, and then you have your sniper, which is self-explanatory. The abilities are kind of limited. I believe it's by rank, and eventually once you get to the top rank of Colonel, you don't gain any more abilities. Also, the RPG is full customization of your appearance, name, your ethnicity, how your voice is, what you look like, color of your armor, and all that good stuff. You also do have a home base, which upgrades itself, and that grants you new weapons and armor. The basic story, nothing big. Aliens invade the Earth, and basically somehow, right when the aliens invade, all the governments of the world come together and form XCOM initiative, which is to battle the aliens. And you get different characters, all your different soldiers from all over the world. They have on the back of their neck the flag of what country they're in, and basically you're just trying to stop the alien invasion. Alright, as far as gameplay, it's very turn-based, so it's kind of cut and dry how the order goes, but it's a little different each time. You go on different missions, whether it's UFO abduction, or you're going to stop a bomb, or you're going to you heard that there might be aliens here, or you're going to shoot down a UFO. You go on the missions. That's where you do your turn-based part. You know, your soldiers go in, kill the aliens, rescue civilians or whatever, and you come back to home base where you research what you find, and that's where you build up your base. And then you go right back on the mission, lather, rinse, repeat. What I like about the gameplay is it's a full tutorial. I didn't realize I was in the tutorial until you get the little achievement that says you've completed the tutorial. So if you've never played turn-based or you've never played XCOM, it doesn't hold your hand, but you're playing a tutorial without realizing you're in a tutorial. So By the time you're done the tutorial, you're well versed in pretty much the gameplay. Also, some people like this part, some people don't. If your soldier dies, he's dead. That's it. Game over. Not game over, but that soldier's dead. All his abilities, everything, the weapons and armor you keep. But that soldier's dead. So if you spent a while building up this guy and he dies, he's dead. Now, saying that, you can do where you save on the gameplay so that you can play it where you never lose a soldier. But of course, you have the Iron Man difficulty where it's one save the whole game through. Now, going to the different classes, you have your Assault class, which is kind of your speed class. Very generic. What I liked about the Assault class is the reaction shot ability. I'm not sure which rank it is, but once you get that reaction shot, you have an ability called Overwatch, which all your soldiers have. You know, if an enemy moves within line of sight, you fire a shot. The reaction shot ability, you don't have to go into Overwatch, which takes a turn, you know, which takes a move turn. So like if an enemy comes too close to you or it moves, you have the reaction shot ability without having to waste a turn in Overwatch. And my favorite class, like, you know, you got the heavy, you got the support, which they're okay. There's nothing really that stands out about. The class I would definitely suggest you to play Sniper class all the way. Like, I didn't realize until you beef up the sniper. To begin with, he's, you know, okay. But when you beef him up all the way, rank him out, I would definitely recommend having 2 snipers on your team. You can get a team of 6. But there's 3 basic abilities a sniper have that set it head and shoulders above the rest. I mean, of course, it can't take a lot of damage, so you don't throw it in the fray. But actually, they have the first ability you want to get is Team Sight. That's where if one of your teammates can see an enemy, you don't have to be in the line of sight. You can fire as long as the teammate can see that enemy. The next one you get later on is Double Tap, whereas if you don't move, if you're just, you know, you don't use a movement, you get 2 movement or 2 actions per turn. You know, a move, a shoot, or you can do 2 moves. But once you shoot, that's it. Except there's a certain ability in another class that a shot doesn't take a turn. But anyway, the ability I'm talking about is the Double Tap, where if your sniper does not move and he just fires, he can fire again. It's actually useful if you're trying to take down a big enemy, or you just happen to, you know, have a beefed up weapon. And the last one, which is my absolute favorite, is called In the Zone, which is once you kill an enemy, you keep firing. As long as you keep killing, your turn doesn't end. It's a kill streak. So if you happen to line up, the most I've ever gotten was 5. But if you just have bad guy after bad guy after bad guy, as long as you're killing them, you don't lose your turn. You get to over and over again, which comes in handy with the difficulty ramping up later in the end, which I'll talk about. Replayability, it's a turn-based RPG, which usually replayability is really good. The story is very basic. You know, of course, you want to try to get everything all at once, but you know, you can replay it, try to level you guys up, play on a different difficulty setting. But it's very replayable because it's, you know, basically each level is a little different, which I like. Even if you, like, say, lose at a level and you restart it, that level will be slightly different, so the enemies and everything won't be in the same place. Overall, basically the major downfall is the difficulty curve. They do the Serious Sam difficulty curve where the enemies, you know, the AI gets a little smarter, but it's more like, you know, you have 5 or 6 basically smart enemies, and then all of a sudden they'll throw 10 or 20 at you that'll just flank you all at once. That will get to you. So that's where the Snipers In the Zone ability comes in.
Nothing like the rush of hunting people down and killing them. I mean, my heart's beating, my hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting, and I'm still getting the headshots. It's like boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot.
Also, what I like about it is, like I said earlier, you want to get everything. You want to get all the weapons, all the armor, and you can prolong the game as long as you want. You know, there'll be certain mission priorities you have to complete. Like, you'll abduct one alien, and the main priority is study it and figure out how it's talking to the mothership. But you don't have to do that. You can just keep doing mission, like that. The only other thing I don't like about the game is the panic level. You know, the different countries that are in the XCOM initiative, they have panic levels, and if they get a certain amount, they will leave the XCOM. And if you lose 6, I think the game's over. And the only way to reduce panic levels is to put a satellite over the country or to run missions in the country. But once you put a satellite over the country, if it gets panicked again, you have to wait for a mission. Like, you can't just go to the country and do a mission. You have to wait for a mission to show up. Like, oh, there's a UFO abduction in the U.S. today, so we're going to go there. That'll reduce the panic level. You kind of have to wait on that. So a lot of times, if the panic level's high and no missions come up, you can lose the country. But overall, for story, this game I give 6 beers. A generic story, but not a horrible story. The levels are a 7. You know, they're nice levels. They're just different enough where you can replay them, but it's still, you'll play a level thinking you played that level earlier. It'll be almost repetitive enough to get annoying, but different enough to where it's a new level. Gameplay gets a 7. There are a few little bugs in here, but I've heard people getting a lot worse bugs in the PC version. The replayability is an 8. You can just keep playing over and over again. It really doesn't get, to me, it doesn't get stale because you're not doing the same thing. You know, you can try different tactics on each level, and each time the enemies are a little bit different. Overall, I actually would say if you like turn-based RPGs, definitely buy this game. But that's it for this review. Next time I'm gonna review something a little different. I'm gonna review Kirby's Epic Yarn. I'm a huge Kirby fan, and I actually just got this game because, excuse me, for some reason this game had been like $40 each time I saw it, and I'm not that big a Kirby fan, but I saw it last week for $8, so I bought it. So I'm gonna review that. Kind of just go a little different direction. But other than that,